Let's get it. The male loser epidemic is getting so bad.
Loser epidemic has gotten so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at this point.
So apparently there are some epidemics going
Male
on at the moment
losers.
that I wasn't aware of. And these epidemics are both related to men specifically. They are the male loser epidemic and the chopped man epidemic. Which, if you don't know what chop means, it basically means ugly. A lot of people like to talk about the toxic manosphere content that's been pretty popular recently, but this is the other side of that coin that's just as popular, and that is these dating gurus for women who give probably some of the worst advice I've ever heard, and can verify how bad it is since I'm a guy. But without further ado, let's take a look at these epidemics in dating, and let's take a look at some dating advice from this guru.
A lot of you ladies ask me how it is that I get gifts on the second date, and it's very simple. First of all, you must enjoy the first date. You have to determine whether or not you want to go on the second date with them. When they ask you for a second date...
Oh, yeah. You can already tell this is bad advice because the title of this video is How I Get Gifts. How do I get gifts on a second date? That in itself is already going to show that you're not intrinsically focused on the person that you're with. You're actually paying attention to the things that they're doing for you materially.
A lot of guys will try to close it on the first one if they're smart, and you can do this. This is how I do it. I've had so much fun with you. This was really great. Thank you for treating me. It was very sweet. I love this restaurant, and I will go on a second date with you. However, I do expect a gift. I want to see how creative you get. I want to see you work for it. So
No. This has got to be some dude that lacks any type of self-esteem or any type of intrinsic value, that oozes out of himself. I mean, come on now. If you just met a woman that you find at least attractive enough to take on a date and that you be interested, this also has to go a couple different ways. Like, the dude has to see some worth or value in the woman to even want to see a second date out of her. And then I would assume that this is, I guess the woman doesn't necessarily have to view you as a quality candidate, but at the very least, if she just wants gifts, then she can entertain taking you on multiple dates just at least for the gifts. But this would be that a dude would have to find some type of value or worthiness in this woman. And so after you went on the first date, the conversation was good. I'm interested in trying to pursue this woman further to the point where I'm willing to take her on a second date. And then if a woman says, yeah, I like this date, let's go ahead and end it right here. I think you can be respectful. Love to be like, all right, we can end it right here. That's cool. I at least enjoyed having time with you. But then if she used to say, yeah, the conditional requirement I'm going to set for you is that you have to give me a gift, and I'm interested to see how creative you're going to get with the gift. That could, turn away like 80% of dudes, right? Like that, most dudes are like, what are you talking about? You're setting a condition for me to take you on a second date? I'm taking you on a date. What are you talking about? I'm taking you on a date. I'm already overextending to the foul line. Now, I think there is some value in you communicating that. But it's the same reason, if you're setting conditions to laying with somebody would be, marriage or something like that. I can understand that. Every saying, your conditionals for you to even be taken seriously would be, maybe monetary, material. I think that there is, again, something there that I can respect. But again, I think this has to work, and it could possibly weed out more men than any. But at the very least, you're going to be at least in the category of men that like you enough to get you a gift.
To see you work for it. Like, are you talking about a dog here or another person who's looking for a connection? Imagine actually saying this after a date. That would be one of the biggest turnoffs imaginable.
I do expect a gift.
I would think I'm being trolled or something if a girl said this, or she was making a joke. If it was serious, which this girl is being dead serious, there would definitely be no second date. You have to work for it. You got to bring me a gift. Isn't that something that you shouldn't be asking for? Like, at this point, if you're going to base the whole dating process on materialistic, transactional things, why not just ask for money and become a prostitute? Maybe it's just me. I was under the impression that things like gifts are usually given freely without expectation.
I want to see how creative you get. I want to see you work for it. So you can get me anything you want. I don't care what it is. Well, I do, because I'm going to judge. You need to impress me. But you can't get me flowers because I already get flowers for myself, and I also don't want you taking on the responsibility of getting the right flowers because I have a cat. So let's see how you do. And I'll kind of lean back and I'll take a look at them and I'll be like,
laughable. Did she rewatch this
Oh, yeah,
video
appreciate you,
before
baby.
posting it? Grown-ass adult leaning back thinking she's in some kind of
killing it.
romantic comedy movie with these scenarios.
Yeah.
This is not Rage Bait, by the way, or some kind of skit. She's dead serious.
She's dead
This is
serious.
an actual dating guru for women who offers price
Wow.
dating
Wait, what is
coaching
that?
calls with women. She's also got products and has tens of thousands of
Her
followers.
Venmo.
Price dating.
She can. People are booking coach you with her.
This is an actual...
Be more strict with people. Make your own money and attract a kind provider man. Be bold and ask questions. Learn to leave. Link in the bio. Men like to show off to other men that they can maintain you. Be strict with people. Don't. No, have more compassion and get informed and take appropriate action. It impacts you directly and indirectly. Again, there could possibly be enough. I think that there's some truth here. I think that you could communicate your desires, your wishes, and your boundaries with, the dudes that you're going on dates with, or at least the dudes that you're romantically interested in. And there are a select amount of dudes or type of dudes that you're after anyways, because you're looking for a kind provider man who's willing to buy you things in exchange for you just being present. There's definitely a realm of dudes who are, willing to fit into that mold. So I think that there is probably some truth here. We should, if I'm teaching you how to do X, Y, and Z, there is some intrinsic value there.
Dating guru for women who offers price dating coaching calls with women. She's also got products and has tens of thousands of followers. And so far, it's some of the worst dating advice I've ever heard. We took a look at some not too long ago, and I don't know which one is more laughable.
Stress men out and they'll be obsessed with you.
Are these gurus just trying to sabotage other women or something? What's going on here?
And they're like, they'll usually ask, okay, what type of gift? And I'll be like, I don't know. I'd go home if you didn't go big, so. You want my attention, don't you? And they're like, they'll melt, okay?
I agree, though. There's absolutely a realm of dudes that will feel challenged by that and say, "Oh, this girl don't know. I'm gonna get her a gift. I'm that type of dude." You know what I mean? And so they feel like it's all about perception, bro. For example, because it's all about exuding confidence, both ends, right? If you're confident in yourself and you're direct about what you're after as a man, no woman's gonna try you on this type of stuff because she already gonna know, all right, he's not going for it. And on the opposite end of things, if you're confident in a woman and be like, hey, here's my rules. If you want to play, you got to pay. You gonna get enough dudes that's gonna be willing to start playing that game. So at the end of the day, you're weeding out the people that are playing games. At the end of the day, if this is what you want as a woman, and vice versa, if you're a dude and you willing to enter this game, you can attract the people that you're after. You're probably going to weed out a lot of people that are in some sense maybe quality, but at the end of the day, if this is what you're after and this is your quality, you're going to win. So her straight up just challenging a dude might be enough to get these dudes enough in their ego to be like, oh, this girl don't even know. I'm going to take her on a second date. I'm going to seal the deal. So I'm going to do all I can to get her the best date gift ever, right? So there's gonna be dudes that's gonna feel challenged by that.
Okay, you're not telling them, you're telling them, but you're seducing them, okay? And you gotta use your eyes. You gotta just siren it, okay? Yeah, that's how I do it.
Oh god, the cringe. It's just completely insufferable. I feel like any guy with even a shred of self-respect and options in dating is not going to go on a second date with you if you say some shit like that.
But here's what I'm saying, though. If she's even able to get to this point in the date where she can communicate this, obviously the dude's gone. I would assume that, look, you miss every shot you don't take. So, somebody like me, I would smell that out quick. See what she's on. I don't even know if she would have made it to the date. I had enough communication with her to be like, this ain't actually what I'm after, but it is what it is. If she's able to have a whole date, hold up conversation to the point where somebody is now willing to continue to move forward with her, and she can put the play down, hey, look, here's what we got to do. Somebody might be willing to bite. This is interesting. It's actually interesting to me.
This, or might even laugh in your face. Like I said, if I ever heard this, I'd honestly think they'd be joking or trolling me. That's how weird this is. Also, it's funny she mentions all these rich, high-value guys she supposedly went out with, but why are they not your boyfriend then? Or husband? What happened to all these dates, all these guys? Because she's single, by the way. It's almost like this laughable dating advice doesn't actually work for attracting someone.
The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at this point. Like, why do you think you're fucking lonely? You're fucking lonely because we don't want to be with you. Because look at how pathetic you are. I posted a video talking about my standards and what I expect of men, which is basically just basic decency. You gotta be consistent, you gotta communicate, you gotta make straight up plans. I'm not just fucking hanging out with you. It's gotta be at a nice restaurant, and on the second day I will ask you for a gift, and I'm not telling you what to buy me, but I want to see your creativity, I want to see how you court me. I have standards. I also date high net worth individuals because that's my fucking circle. That's who I hang out with.
Like, look at how angry she sounds, swearing nonstop, raging on TikTok about the epidemic of male losers. Something tells me you might be projecting here. Also, I don't think anyone was disagreeing with her about having decency and making plans as a man. It was mainly the demanding a gift and saying weird shit, like making him work for it. Like, she's so mad and angry.
But again, like you're saying, on the other end of the spectrum, there's plenty of male content creators that are saying, "Oh, you got to make a woman work for you if she wants to." You know, so the same could be said on the other end.
This is not very feminine behavior. I don't know if these high net worth guys are gonna like this. Also, I noticed how she...
They're absolutely going for it. I'm gonna tell y'all, they going for it. I'm telling y'all, bro. The other end of the manosphere content where they saying, "Hey, you need to go after a woman who's submissive and she don't and she shouldn't have to work." You know. So if you're telling me if a woman can carry herself the way that she needs to be carried, and she says, "Hey, look, I'm not giving nothing up," but in order for this date to continue further, or for you to take me seriously as an option, here's what I'm requiring of you. A lot of dudes will go for it if they feel like the woman is nice, kind, and feminine enough. So a lot of the dudes that she's going after are very likely to go after. And like I said, at the end of the day, you miss every shot you don't take. If she's going on 10 of these dates and she's able to get three dudes, terrible shooting percentage, right? 30%. She's able to get 3 dudes to start buying her gifts. Out of 10, I mean...
She lists off all of these things, but never once mentioned what special things she's doing besides showing up. The more I watch, the more I'm not surprised this person is single.
That's who I am. I make a lot of money, so I'm going to hang out with people who also make a lot of money, because it's about the mindset, because we're always trying to work on each other. And these men fucking went crazy in the fucking comments. It's like, oh, like, you're a 6 at best. Bitch, like, I don't care what you think of me, because the men in my life, the men that I date, the men that I
they want her.
Actually think that it's wonderful that I am achieving so much in my life. They think it's wonderful, and actually help me set higher standards for the men in my life that are walking into my life. They teach me how to think. They teach me how to carry myself in the world. They teach me about men like you and how to stay away from them.
I mean, I'm shocked how this person is still single. How could that be? She seems so kind, you know, friendly, pleasant, undemanding. It's really a mystery why none of these high net worth individuals she's dating, multiple of them it sounds like, haven't married her or are in a relationship with her. It's almost as if you come across as a completely materialistic, shallow, transactional person. What rich, high net worth guy is going to watch this and be attracted to you? Maybe some very desperate ones, I have no doubt.
No one who's respectable and has time, has things going for them, is going to sit there and bully somebody. And like, no one who actually knows their value is going to sit in a relationship and bully them and tell them you can't get anything better than what I can offer you. You don't have anything to offer. You are what we're all running away from. You are lonely because you're a motherfucking loser. Like, it's fucking embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed for you. And it's like most men too. Like, it's literally most men. Most men are fucking losers and they know it, and then they're like, oh, well, we're just gonna like fucking bully you into being with us again because we're losing control. Bitch, fuck off. Fuck off.
Complaining about bullying, meanwhile making videos about the male loser epidemic. And it sounds like bullying to her is basically just people disagreeing. Disagreeing with how laughable and insufferable it is to demand every man to work for you and shower you with gifts. Like I said, this person is single. She seems to have made an entire business on being a dating guru for women. Meanwhile, not being able to attract one of these supposed high net worth men herself. I mean, it's hilarious.
So as we're all very much aware, we are living through a chopped man epidemic, and there's a big shortage of baddies. It's gone so bad to the point that, like, if I see an attractive man, it genuinely makes my day. I was walking on the sidewalk earlier, and I saw a cute guy in his car, so I waved to him, and he smiled back at me. And obviously he drove away after that. But I was like, oh my god, a cute guy? This was at 6:50 p.m. It's 7:17, and I'm still like, oh my god. And I feel like this is gonna empower me through my evening. Like, wow, I actually saw an attractive man today. Like, diamond in the rough, needle in the haystack. Seriously.
The only epidemic we're in right now is an epidemic of a lack of self-awareness. Because I'm not going to say this girl is straight up ugly, but she's definitely not a model either, yet is complaining about chopped men.
Here's what we're talking about, though. No lie, though. I mean, it's all based on images. Beauty is all based on the eye of the beholder. Like, I think that we can all look at everybody from like a scale. If we were to base it off of the, this quote unquote like beauty scale that we're after, where you're talking about like these models or the top end of the spectrum, we could always make arguments objectively in order to try to determine whether or not somebody is the more or less attractive. But again, people's types and preferences are really just based individually, and so there's plenty of people that might look at this woman and be like, "Oh my gosh, she's one of the toughest thing walking." But even if she was or wasn't, again, guys, I think we have to be able to remove her from this equation and actually just pay attention to what she's saying. There's probably a lot of truth to what she's saying, bro. I think that most of us probably agree that there's not many super handsome dudes walking around. I mean, come on. Like, if we, again, have to speak about the far end of the content that is pandering for women, we have to look at the other end of the content. Again, the red pill content where they're talking about the same thing. That plenty of dudes are fat, lazy, whatever.
It's just trashy. And I do wonder what her future boyfriend or husband is going to look like, if he'll be chopped or not. Because I don't know if any decent-looking, self-respecting dude who sees this video is going to want to be with this. At the end of the day, I think everyone needs to stop following these dating gurus for advice, both women and men, and just make decisions for themselves based on your own experiences and what you think is right. Because a lot of this advice is just trash.
What are we thinking? She's not dating, she's working. She's actually essentially using these guys she meets for meals and gifts. Escort services don't necessarily mean sexual favors. It can't just mean company for the evening in exchange for money, and her flex seems awfully close to that. Okay. Of course she's single. But again, she could also be single and possibly be getting to a point where either the dudes wake up and realize what they're after, or she could be like, all right, on to the next. How are guys supposed to get her a creative gift and they barely know her? Y'all using too much logic here. This obviously works in some metric. It works enough for her to even get online and be trying to tell everybody what they should or shouldn't be doing. She's the reason why I'm happy being single and why good women are hard to find in this crazy society. I honestly don't blame you. If this was out here, a voice enough would not let me finish the first date. Okay. Let me know what y'all think.